This is a high-grade special on gender equality in mining. Does mining have a chauvinistic culture that creates a harmful working environment for women? Gladys Smith has made it as a businesswoman in the Latin American mining sector. She shares with us the challenges that women face in a culture stereotyped as machista. Gladys, welcome to Highgrade.
Thank you very much.
You're a successful woman in the mining industry in Latin America, and you know the continent inside out. A stereotype of Latin America is that of a macho society. To what extent is that still the case today?
I don't like stereotypes, but there are different cultures, if we can say. Things are happening in Latin America. There are a lot of changes. The good thing is men are quite happy to go with these changes. We have found that a lot of companies have opened the doors for us, and the companies have realized that they have to change too.
Generally speaking, gender equality in mining tends to focus on two different aspects. So you have the workforce and then you have the communities. Are Latin American women at a disadvantage compared to men when it comes to working in the extractives?
Some of them, they are. Women who are in the artisanal market, if I can say, they work very hard and they don't have facilities and they don't have water or they don't have electricity. And it's a very difficult job. But saying that, they belong to cooperative, they are called, you know, where these women, they go and they sell the product and they are paid for the product immediately. And that is quite a lot. But the reality is the conditions are not the best one. It's different from the women who works for big companies. These kind of women, they work 20 days and they are off for 10 days. And it's completely different kind of work that they do too. But you can see now, saying that more women are working in the mines as engineers, trucks, drivers, which before you couldn't see that at all. It was male dominated.
So is it the same, you talk now about on the ground, in the mines, but is it the same when you move up the ranks, so in managerial positions, for example?
No, we are changing. We are changing quite a lot. Women are escalating, but still there is a lot of work to do for women to have top jobs. You don't see many women on boards positions. Even that there are quite a few that they have reached that level, but we have to do much more.
Do you think the situation is better or worse in Latin America compared to other parts of the world?
It's different, really. It's different because, as I said, the culture is changing, and that is a good thing there. And I think men are giving more opportunities to women. I mean, in Lima there is this big company that a woman now is the chairperson there. Before you couldn't believe it, because normally the top jobs always they have gone to men. Everything is happening for the women now. We are making a lot of noise. I think people are listening to us. Our gender, which is a strong gender, will do even better in the future.
So this change that you're seeing in the culture, is it a demand from women to change, or is it that companies see a business case in employing women?
Yes, I mean, they are taking women as what they are, a human person. And if they can see that this person got the right knowledge for the right job, it doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man, which before it was not even considered that. Now, no, you can see a lot of women solicitors, doctors, geologists, when before women never bother even to study that kind of professions.
But sexual harassment at work, it continues to impact women. Take a piropo, where men feel that it's acceptable to comment on the sexual attractiveness of women. How does cultures like these impact the dynamics in the workplace between men and women?
Men are changing too, and they know that this kind of behavior is not acceptable anymore. I went to Argentina this year, and I knew he was going to give me a piropo, but he stopped himself and he said, "Oh, apologies for that." And I was so surprised, how men are going with these changes. And we as women in mining too, we are, always teaching the women and men how the culture is changing.
Why do you think that change has happened from within men?
I think it's just, that the world is changing, because this is not happening only in Latin America, it's happening in other continents too, where the men always were the leaders.
Maybe more than in other places, family is sacred in Latin America. Is maternity something that undermines women's career opportunities?
Depends what kind of job you do. If you are a woman with a degree, you won't have much problems really, because in Latin America we still got help at home, which is fantastic. I mean, most women they can go back to work, and some of the big companies, they have nurseries, where the women can leave the children there. I mean, it's in that respect is good, but again, if we go to the women who are artisanal women, and they work in very different conditions, yes, it's more difficult for them to manage work and family life.
So despite these challenges and these gender inequalities that perhaps more so before were present in Latin America, you succeeded as a businesswoman. I'm interested in hearing your story.
It's been tough. When I went to the London Metal Exchange dinner many years ago, there were 1,200 people and only 3 women, and I was one of them. Now it has changed. There are women, in different positions, in different jobs. There are women traders, because being a trader, it was very much a male-dominated job. But determination, I had to have determination, because I said, no, I like my job, and I enjoy my job all these years. It has been really a nice journey. It has taken me around the world, and I have, met people from different cultures. And at the same time, I saw women who they had more difficult challenges that I had. And that is why I am passionate about women in mining, because I want our industry to change.
Do you feel like you had to adopt stereotypically male characteristics to make it in the mining industry?
No. Luckily, I never had to do that. I always was a proper woman, and I always treat everybody with respect. And I was lucky that the people who were working with me, they were in the same situation. There were a lot of hurdles that I have to jump,
What were some of those?
I mean, sometimes it was at that time it was difficult for them to believe that a foreigner, because you know, I was a foreigner trying to do that job. But and being a woman, it was even more difficult. They didn't take me very seriously. But later on, they realized that they had to do that.
Economic development usually correlates with gender equality, meaning the more development, the more gender equality. Have you seen examples of such a virtuous cycle in Latin America?
Yes, now is, you know, we have the support of the companies, and that is quite good, because it's not only the big companies, smaller mines companies too. They are providing more facilities and more help to women to advance in their careers, which is fantastic. You know, before you couldn't see that, but now is quite good, because again the gender is taken in consideration. They take you as you are, as a human person, not as the gender that you are.
Gladys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
This is Highgrade.